Well, hello again, everybody. I am going to be making some chicken pot pie today. We're going to have some for dinner and some will go in the freezer. And right now I'm just pressing out my crust, getting ready to roll that out, getting everything all floury and just ready to go. Kind of excited about this one. We really like chicken pot pie in our house. So I'm going to get this patted out a little bit and set aside, and then I'm going to show you guys my beautiful filling that I'm working on here. Here is my filling. I cracked open 2 jars of pot pie filling. It was kind of dry, so I added another jar of chicken stock that I had made with some shredded stew hen meat. That's kind of longer pieces. Then we added a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. I brought that up to a boil, and then I made a slurry with half a cup of flour and half a cup-ish of water until it just makes a nice thin slurry like this. That's how I'm choosing to thicken mine. If you're gluten-free, go ahead and use arrowroot or cornstarch. There's any number of things you could use. I just really like how it thickens up with a simple flour and water slurry. And you can see how it's coming together there. So once this thickens a bit, we're going to put it into our crust once we get those rolled out, and then it's going to go in the oven. And then I'm going to freeze a couple for a meal another day. It's always lovely to have something like this in your freezer. So one of the things that I do for pies that I'm going to put in the freezer, or like when I'm baking for farmers market, so I know that they're going to set for a few hours too. I don't know, if people don't eat them the day they buy them, they might sit in their fridge for a couple days, is I brush my crusts with beaten egg. And what this does is it helps prevent the crust from getting soggy. It kind of makes a barrier between your filling and your crust. So I'm doing that for my pot pies too, because I don't want them to go in the freezer and get soggy. Now, you can either bake them before you freeze them, or you can freeze them raw. That's really personal choice. You freeze them raw, it's just going to take them, well, it's going to take a long time, whether they're uncooked or cooked. I mean, and by raw, I don't mean the ingredients are raw. Everything is cooked. So it's just whether you want the crust to be baked and then rebake it, or whether you want it to bake when you put your pot pie in for the initial time. I've tried it both ways. It's delicious both ways. So it's just totally personal preference. If you just want to make these and get them done, you would fill them up, let them cool down, and then put them in the freezer. Or you can bake them, let them cool down, and put them in the freezer. All right, be right back. So for these, I am going to put these 2 in the oven now. The ones that I'm going to freeze, I'll cool down the filling. But for these 2, I'm just putting in hot filling. That'll be just fine. But if you were going to put them straight into the freezer without baking them, I would suggest letting that filling cool down just so you don't risk getting soggy crust. All right. This looks and smells amazing. I added a little bit of parsley and a little bit more ramps because I just wanted them to have a little bit more rampy flavor. And the rest of this filling will be for the one I'm going to freeze. I'm not going to bake the one I'm freezing, so I'm going to put this over here at the stove. Let that cool down. And then for my pies, I use egg as the glue. And then we'll put the top crust on and seal it all up. Making pies is something I enjoy quite a bit. Been making pie for a while now. I didn't really learn how to make good crusts until we moved here to Iowa. And it's just been a lot of experimenting and playing around, and I finally feel like I got a pretty good product. Do sell a lot of pies at farmers market during the summer. We have some very devoted customers that come back every week, and if I forget to put a Facebook notification, if I'm not going to be there, I hear about it. Because our customers are pretty awesome. Astrid, Mommy's filming, okay? I love you very much.
I'm just watching.
Okay, that's all right. Now I'm just rolling out. Astrid, watching doesn't involve getting in the way. You're going to get hurt, baby. You get knocked off the chair, sweetie. All right. I'm just going to roll this out. And lay it onto our pot pies, which are in the background here. All right, get this last one done. We're gonna seal them up, put them in the oven, and I'll be showing you what they look like when they come out of the oven. Because man, I tell you what, if they taste half as good as they smell, we're in for a real treat tonight. My children are getting to that point of the night where they're restless and excited. They got friends coming over tonight, so everybody's kind of in that super excited company's coming mode. Alright, so here we go. Okay, I don't know if this is a major problem, but so I'll take this off. Now I'm just crimping up the edges. And we're going to pop this in the oven. You can see when you use it hot like this, that crust starts to melt right now. So it's kind of a race against melting crust. I'm not going to bother slashing it or anything because there's just really no need. Alright, bring it back when it's done. So I apologize, everybody. We went to a piano clinic and I came home and the kids had already dug into this, but this is what that pot pie looks like on the other side of things. Absolutely delicious. I hope that you try this and I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.